yesterday we created Oracle VirtualBox. Oracle VM VirtualBox. This is the VirtualBox which we created. And okay, so now let us just open that installation document.
Sir, one thing.
Hmm.
Actually, after my installation here below tools, some base Adobe 3x. That options we haven't read about that option in my virtual
So,
box.
sorry.
In virtual box, below options are available for you, but for us, below options are not showing.
Okay, sir.
You
Okay,
need
one
to plug
second.
in.
So it means
You need to
okay,
plug
these are the
in.
one base VM, Hadoop 3x, those are the
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
right? No,
Yes, yes.
these are I told right yesterday, these are the ones which we created, sir, which I created actually. Okay. So
Okay.
you will not be having any of these four actually. You will
Hmm.
not be having. Okay. I will start. Okay, let us start from fresh actually. Okay.
Okay.
Mm, okay, fine. Fine, guys. Okay, so we have completed this step. We installed Oracle VirtualBox. Okay, so then okay, we change the path. Okay, then okay, so we change the we made sure that okay, so the network managed settings are as per this picture. Then we downloaded CentOS image. Okay, and we downloaded Putty also. And okay, till this we have done. Okay. So the next machine. Okay, next one is creating base virtual machine. Okay, so what is this base virtual machine? Okay, so let us create one virtual machine first. Okay, so I'll open Oracle Virtual VM Box from Windows Start button. Yes, I opened. Okay, click on machine and new. Okay, click on machine and new. Okay, RK group and new. Okay, so earlier in the old version it was machine. Okay, so now it is group actually. Click on group. Okay, new machine. Okay, click on group new machine. Okay, so now it is asking, okay, so tell me, okay, what virtual machine, okay, what is the configuration of your virtual machine you want to create? Okay, so first it is asking name. Okay, give me some name. Okay, so I'm just giving, okay, sample VM. Okay, I'm just giving some name. Okay, okay, so you can give base VM or sample VM. Okay, anything, okay, you can give, but okay, so okay, so here slave, okay, which is already there, so I'm giving sample VM. Okay, and then machine folder you don't touch, let it be there only. Okay, and okay, what is the type of OS we will install in this virtual machine? Okay, in this machine we will
Linux.
install Linux. Again, okay, which Linux? Okay, again, so you need to select a Red Hat 64-bit. Okay,
Yeah.
guys, okay, here okay, there is something. Okay, select version as Red Hat 64-bit and click on next. Okay, see, there is something, there is a possibility for okay, some of your laptops, like, okay, if you don't see Red Hat 64-bit option in the drop down list, it means, okay, you will have to enable virtual technology option from your system BIOS settings. Understand? Okay, so in BIOS settings there is something called, like, virtual technology. Okay, that option might be disabled, okay, for you. Okay, so now, okay, there is another point. Okay, let's say if you're using some old laptop, okay, for this practice, and okay, if that old laptop, okay, doesn't have this virtual technology option at all, then okay, that laptop is not suitable for Hadoop installation. Understand? Okay, but okay, if you buy any laptop, okay, after 2015, okay, definitely this virtual technology option is enabled, so we no need to worry about that. Clear? Okay, enabled, but okay, if it is not enabled also, okay, you can just, okay, log in, and okay, you can enable the virtual technology. And okay, so this virtual technology option, okay, these BIOS settings are purely different, okay, from system to system or laptop to laptop. Okay, so this is specific to laptop. Please check in YouTube for more help on this one. Okay, or please contact me if you still need any further help. Okay, for more, okay, please check in YouTube. Okay, for more help on this with your laptop model. Okay, for more help on this. Okay, for more help on this one. Okay, please contact me. Okay, if you don't understand, please let me know. Okay, I will help you. Clear? Okay, I'll help you. Okay, Okay, so for me, okay, anyway, this option is there. Okay, so I have selected Red Hat 64-bit. Okay, and I'm clicking on next. Okay, so guys, okay, this is okay, clear, very clearly I've given. Okay, so give memory size as 204 MB. Okay, so but okay, if you have 32 GB or okay, 128 GB, you can give bigger number. Sorry, okay, 64 GB you can give. Okay, but for me, okay, I have 64 GB, so I'm creating a VM of 10 GB. 10 GB VM I'm creating. Okay, so click on next. So I told, okay, so okay, so in VirtualBox, what and all we have done. Okay, so we told, okay, what is the name of VirtualBox? Name of virtual, okay, virtual machine. Then okay, so OS, what OS? Okay, then okay, so okay, what, okay, OS. Okay, second, okay, okay, what OS? What is this? Okay, we have selected here.
Type of OS.
Version.
New machine. Okay,
Version.
version. Okay,
Version.
OS version. OS version, whether it's 64-bit or not. Okay, so
Path.
next, okay, Red Hat 64-bit. Okay, so here, okay, we give like name of the VMS sample.txt. Sorry, sample VM. Okay, OS. Okay, Linux. Okay, then okay, OS version is okay, Red Hat 64-bit. Okay, 64-bit. Okay, so then next. Okay, and here give the RAM. What is the RAM you want to have for this machine? Okay, so 2 GB, minimum 2 GB is required, guys. 2 GB. Okay, but here I'm giving. Okay, so 2 GB means like how much MB? So 1024 into 2.
2048.
Yeah, 2048. Okay, but for me, okay, since I have more RAM, I'm giving 10 GB. Click on next. So here okay, I've given 10 GB. Okay, for you maybe it is 2 GB. Okay, now okay, now hard disk. Create a hard disk. Okay, so create a virtual hard disk now. Okay, when I say virtual hard disk, guys, okay, what it does, okay, create. Okay, and you select VDI only. Click on next and dynamically allocated. Okay, so now you tell size. Okay, 100 GB. Okay, I'm creating a 100 GB. Yeah. Okay, so I created a machine. Okay, so now you can see a machine here. Okay, so hard disk. Okay, we have given 100 GB. Okay, but did I give okay core network?
No.
Did I give core and network? I have not given core and network. Correct. Okay, I have given only. So what is the OS and okay, OS version? Then okay, what is the RAM I want? Okay, what is the hard disk I want? What is the core I want? Okay, I mean core and network I didn't give actually. Okay, so now okay, once this is done. Okay, so now this will create a virtual machine in the left hand side of your VirtualBox manager. Yes. Okay, this is the one. Okay, this is the one which created. Right click on the slave. Okay, slave means okay, this machine name. Okay, okay, right click on your virtual machine on your VM. Okay, and select settings and system. Settings, and okay, inside this one system. Okay, so okay, after that, okay, select point in device as USB tablet. Where is point in device? Here, USB tablet. Okay, then select settings storage. Okay, select settings storage. Okay, where is settings and storage? Settings and storage. Okay, now here, okay, what you need to do, right click on controller colon SATA. Okay, so controller colon SATA, right click on this one. Okay, and select hard disk and click on create. Right click, hard disk, click on create. Okay, then okay, then select VDI and click next. VDI and click next, dynamically allocated. Okay, next, and okay, select here 100 GB. Okay, so now click on 100 GB and click on create. Okay, and click on choose. That's it. Understood? So like this, okay, I selected okay, one extra hard disk. Okay, it means okay, so this is hard disk 1. Okay, now what I'm doing, okay, I'm creating one hard disk 2 also. Hard disk 2. Okay, I created. Now hard disk 3. Okay, hard disk 4. Okay, so total 4 hard disk I'm creating, guys. Okay, so right click, add hard disk, create. Okay, VDI, dynamically allocated. Okay, again 100 GB, 100 GB, create, choose. Again, right click, hard disk,
This create.
create VDI, dynamically allocated 100 GB and create and choose. That's it. Okay. So now tell me how many hard disk I created, guys?
2. Sorry, 3. 4.
3
Four.
or 4?
Okay, sample 1 or yeah.
Yeah,
4.
yeah. Okay. So total 4
Four.
hard
Four.
disk I created. Okay. So now, okay, what is the size of each hard disk, guys?
100 GB.
100 GB. Okay. So now, okay. So let us take this scenario. Okay. Your laptop itself is having 400 GB, sir.
Yes.
Your okay. Your laptop itself is having 400 GB. Okay. Now, okay, your laptop, okay, your hard disk is having 300 GB. Just take. It is only 300 GB. Okay. See, end of the day, when I say virtual machine, okay, I created a hard disk. From where this 100 GB will be taken? From where this 100 GB will be taken? End of the day, okay, in your hard disk, 300 GB only. Understand, guys? End of the day, okay, it will take from your existing hard disk only. Okay. So, but okay, here, okay, if you remember when we are selecting, sir, Vijayendra, sir, okay, so
Yes, sir.
some nice, sir, okay, can you be on mute, okay, if you don't mind?
Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so if I right click on hard disk, okay, and if I click on create, okay, VDI, okay, next, okay, so here, okay, you are saying that dynamically allocated. What do you mean of dynamically allocated, guys? It means, okay, see, here you selected okay, 4 hard disk, you selected okay, 4 hard disk of 100 GB size, okay, 100 GB size, but you have only 300 GB hard disk in your laptop. But okay, so will it take entire 400 GB or okay? Okay, see, initially when you create hard disk, it will take only 2 MB. Okay, now I will show you. Okay, right click. Okay, so storage. Hey, what happened? We added right hard disk, right?
Yes.
Shit.
Then
Okay, okay.
not attached.
I didn't click on OK. Click on OK. Okay, so then only it will attach.
Yes.
Okay, then okay, so click on choose. Okay, then click on OK. Okay. Okay, so it means okay. See, when you create a new hard disk, how much storage it is taking? Okay, so where is hard disk here? Okay, storage,
Sure.
hard disk. Okay, see, you gave 100 GB, but okay, how much space it has taken as of now? It has taken only 2 MB.
MB.
Okay, so guys, and one more thing. Okay, so here, okay, I created a virtual machine and okay, 4 hard disk. Okay, do you know where they will be saved? So you can open this location actually. What is the location okay, we are giving? So see, I mean okay, VirtualBox VMs. Okay, just go to EF VirtualBox VMs. There is something called sample VM. Okay, with the name, whatever the name you have given to your VM. Okay, it will have a directory inside this one. Okay, so this is the main one, and these are the hard disk actually. Okay, what is the size of hard disk now currently? 2 MB, 2 MB, 2 MB. All are 2 MBs actually. Okay, when you start installing, this will grow. Understand, when you start loading some data inside this one, these hard disk will grow. Otherwise, okay, so can I create 100 hard disk now? 100 hard disk of size each 100 GB you can create. Okay, but okay, when it will take space from your hard disk, when it will take space from your hard disk, only when you insert anything into that hard disk, then only it will start taking space. Clear guys? Okay, so now, okay, fine. Okay, so now hard disk are done. 4 hard disk I have given. Okay, so guys, why 4 hard disk I have given? Okay, so let's not okay consider about normal hard disk and all. Okay, in real time, okay, you will have Linux servers, right?
Yes.
Do you know how many hard disk okay one server can support? Do you know how many hard disk one server can support?
In which
any
usable,
server. Okay, let's say no. Okay, I'm not talking about only Linux server. Okay, so let's say you have some server machines. Okay, do you know how many hard disks they will first of all, like, have you ever seen the server, guys? Have you ever seen the server?
yes,
Okay, so
they will be having few disks from internal storage, and we have external storage from storage blocks.
okay. Okay. What is this, sir?
Processor.
Huh?
Processor.
This is a processor. Okay. So what is this processor actually? So this is the processor, and okay, this will have okay. Okay, can you tell me how many cores we have on this processor? Huh?
4.
Where you can see 4.
Quad core.
This is a quad core system, guys. Okay, so this place, okay, this entire place is called as die. Okay, on top of die, okay, so they have 4 cores: core 1, core 2, core 3, core 4. This is Intel i7 processor. Okay,
Okay.
these are four physical cores actually. Okay, and these 4 can work like 8 logical processors. Understand, guys? Okay, so this i7 and all, okay, these are normal, like even okay, we I mean for our home purpose, okay, for our practice purpose, we use i7. Okay, but in real time they use i7s. Huh?
No.
They will not use. Okay, so they will use okay any server which is more than 32 cores like that actually. Okay, so now what is this one? Okay, so I have shown you the processor, right? That processor will be okay behind this one. This is a heat sink, what do you call, cooler actually. Okay,
Cooling pads.
yeah, cooling fan. Okay, so I mean behind this one, under this one, okay, you will have the processor actually. Okay, and if you see this picture, okay, this is a motherboard of 32 core system. Understand? So now if you see this system, okay, how many RAM slots we have? What are these black ones, guys?
So RAM slot.
These are all RAM slots. Okay, how many slots we have? This is 32 core machine, hard 32 core machine, motherboard. Okay, and if you see this one, okay, you have total 32 slots: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Okay, 20 24. Okay, and okay, 8 32. Total 32 slots are there. It means, okay, how many slots you will have in your laptop, guys, to put
Two.
RAM? Only 2, right?
Yes.
Only 2 you will have. Okay, but okay, but okay, if you see the top end servers and all, okay, you will have, so you will have okay, more
slot.
RAM slots. Okay, now if I put okay 16 GB RAM in each slot, okay, what is the total RAM in this machine? Okay, see how many slots we have. We have total 32 slots. Okay, in each slot you are putting 16 GB. Okay, it means, okay, your server is like 512 GB RAM. Understand? You have 32 slots into, and each slot, okay, so will you get 512 GB single chip
No.
RAM? Max to max in market you will get, okay, 64 GB RAM single chip you will get.
Yes.
Understand? But okay, you will not get, okay, 512 GB single chip. Okay, so they will give you like, okay, so what they will do, okay, so they will buy this kind of servers and they'll put, okay, 16 GB or 32 GBs in each slot. Then okay, that will give you, that will become, okay, 512 GB altogether. Okay, so this is the motherboard of your system. Okay, your 32 GB 32 core server. Okay, and okay, so we'll go to the next one. Okay, so what is this, guys?
Server.
This is the server. Okay, what are these actually?
Hard disks.
Huh?
Hard disks.
Racks.
Hard disk actually. These are not racks, sir. Okay, these are hard disks,
These are
sir.
hard
Okay,
disks.
okay.
Okay, 1 2 3
That,
4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24, and
Hard-
okay 24 hard disk, and okay 2 more hard disk will be, okay, on the
Internal.
motherboard, internal actually. Okay, so it means, okay, so this is the server, sir. This is the server. Understand?
Yes.
So this server box backside I'm showing you. Okay, so this is server box inside, this is backside.
Yeah.
Understand? Okay, so it means, okay, here, okay, you have an option to insert, okay, 24 hard
Hard disk.
disk. Okay, but inside 2 hard disk. Okay, so total how many hard disk you can insert in a server?
26. In this
26
server.
hard, 26 in this server. Okay, you can insert 26 hard disk actually. Okay, but in your laptop, okay, how many hard disk you can insert?
One.
Max one. Okay, but
max
okay,
two.
yeah,
Max
two,
two, sir.
max two.
Two,
Okay,
max
your motherboard will support only 2 hard disk actually. Okay,
Is it so?
but two. Okay, that depends actually. So if you see my motherboard, okay, yes, okay,
I'm sorry.
I have
sir.
2
I'm sorry, sir.
hard disk actually. Okay, so right click on task manager, and if you see performance, okay, so disk 1 and disk 0. Can you see this one?
Yes.
2 SSDs. Okay, understand?
Okay.
Yeah, so my motherboard is supporting, okay, 2 hard disk actually.
Okay.
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 But okay, it will not support anymore actually, only 2.
Only two. Okay.
But okay, real-time servers and all, they supports 24 hard disk.
Multiple. Yes.
24 plus 2, 26 hard disk they will support. Okay, understand guys? Okay,
But
so now
we'll be having some more external disks also, right?
those are different, sir. The USB slots, those are different.
No. I'm saying that there are few servers which are being capable of supporting 32 also.
I'll
that
tell you,
depends
sir.
upon model.
No, I'll tell you, sir. Okay, I'll tell you. Okay,
Okay,
yes,
sir.
there
Okay,
are
sir. Okay,
chances. Okay, so I mean, servers can support more than, okay, 26 hard disk also. But okay, what is the standard I'm telling you now? Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so total 26 hard disk, okay, you will be having, and okay, it is up to you how much, okay, whether you connect the hard disk or not. Okay, suppose, okay, if you use, okay, 1 TB hard disk inside this one, okay, total how many, what is the size of total all hard disk?
24 into
Sorry. Say it
If
again.
you see, okay, inside this one you can put 1 hard disk. Okay, you are inserting
Okay.
1 TB hard disk here. Okay,
1
TB
like
hard
this,
disk
okay,
inside.
1 TB. Okay, so in each slot you are
20
inserting
TB.
1 TB.
20 TB.
Where 20 is, 24 na?
Sorry. 24 TB.
24 TB storage will come
Yes, sir.
for me.
24 TB.
So it means one server 24 TB. Okay, suppose, okay, if you put, okay, all 2 TB hard disk, then 48
26.
TB.
48.
48
Yeah,
TB.
yeah.
Okay, if you put, okay, all, okay, let's say 4 TB hard disk actually. 4 into 4, 96 TB.
96.
Okay, or can other way, okay, can I insert, okay, one is 1 TB, second one is 2 TB, third one is 4 TB.
We
Can I insert
can.
like that?
We can.
Yes.
I think.
You can insert. There is no problem at all. Understand?
Yes.
Okay, maybe yes, guys, okay, I gave you an example, right? Okay, so like, okay, 2004, okay, I was having, okay, 20 GB hard disk, then, okay, 100 GB hard disk, then
Yes.
500 GB hard disk. Okay, so if you have this kind of servers, okay, I will not throw even my 20 GB hard disk. That also I can use. Correct or not?
Yes.
So maybe first one, okay, 20 GB. Later, when my data is increasing, okay, I will get one more 100 GB hard disk, and I will attach in the second slot. Okay, third one, okay, I'll attach in the third slot later. Okay, in that scenario, I can reuse my old hard disk and, okay, new hard disk also. You got my point? Okay, so like this, okay, this is the server, guys. Okay, if you want to see the server, okay, from the rack server, okay, so you can see rack server. Okay, so this is the rack server, guys. Can you see this one? Images, I'll take you to images. So this is the server, sir. So for our laptop, okay, we'll have monitor and all, right? Okay, but okay, so this is the box, this is the server actually, real-time servers. Understand, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, so inside this one, okay, you'll have RAM slots. Okay, back side of this one, okay, you'll have hard disk slots. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, so now, okay, now it is up to them. Okay, is there any rule that, okay, we can use all, we should use all 24, or, okay, I can use only 10 also,
It's our
10 slots also? It's our wish. Okay, how many hard disk you want to connect in each one? Okay, it is our
24. Yes,
our
it's our wish.
maximum. Okay, they have given option for, okay, 2 on motherboard and, okay, 24 on backside. Total 26 hard disk. You have an option. Okay, but it is up to you how many you connect. you can
2
connect
is
all
perfect.
26 1 TBs, okay, or you can connect all, okay, 26 2 TBs, okay, based on your requirement. Okay, so now
1 is
since,
less.
okay, you will have, okay, multiple hard disk in each and every server, so to give you a real-time picture, I'm adding multiple hard disk. Okay, I'm adding 4 hard disk. Like this, I can add 20, remaining 22 hard disk also to this VM.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not adding 22. Okay, remaining 22, I'm adding only 4 hard disk actually. Understood? Okay.
Yep.
So four hard disk, okay, in one machine. Okay. So after that, okay. So what next? So now what about network actually? Okay. So network core, okay, I'll put it here. Okay. What about network actually? Okay. So when it comes to network, just, okay, go to, click on settings. Okay. Go to adapter 1. Okay. Maybe from last batch to this batch, okay, there are few changes, okay, I'm doing, guys. Okay. So, okay, right click on this one, settings. Okay, network adapter 1. Okay, you keep it like NAT. Understand? Okay, you keep it like NAT. Okay, and, okay, go to attach it to adapter 2, and, okay, go to attach to NAT. Okay, and click on adapter 2 and select enable network adapter. Okay, and select attach to equal to host only adapter. Okay, host only adapter. Okay, and name is okay, name will come automatically. Okay, so click on OK. So, okay, now right click on this settings. Okay, now tell me, what is this network adapter, guys? What is this adapter?
Network adapter means we can add multiple networks.
Okay,
Like
so
we can switch the IP, I mean, application IPs and
no, okay, stop. Okay, guys, please on hold. Okay, so guys, okay, if you see your laptop, okay, how many LAN cards you can insert into your laptop?
NIC card, no?
Yeah, NIC, network interface card.
yes.
How many? Okay, so, okay, network interface card. Okay,
Only one
do
is
you
available.
remember?
Only one in the laptop.
Per server, it will be 2. And again for ILO, again there will be 2.
Okay, so have you seen? Okay, this is the one, guys. Okay, this is the one. So like this. Okay, so how many network interface cards, okay, you will have, okay, in your laptop? In your laptop, usually there will be only one network interface card. Only one LAN connection you can give to your laptop. Okay. Okay, but, okay, in case of real-time servers and all, or high-end servers, so you will have an option for 4 adapters. Okay, it means, okay, like this. Okay, see, if you see here, there is another picture, okay, where I have seen. Okay, see how many adapters are there now? 2 adapters are there. Okay, so like this, okay, you will have an option for 4 adapters also. Understand? Okay, so that is what, okay, I'm showing here. Okay, so how many adapters we have? Okay, but only, see, only first adapter is enabled, one adapter. Okay, but now, okay, I'm enabling adapter 2 also. If you want to enable adapter 3, you can enable adapter 3, you can enable adapter 4 also. Okay, but I'm enabling only adapter 1 and adapter 2. Okay, so what is the use of, okay, having 2 adapters? Why I didn't enable 4? Okay, why only 2 sufficient? So, okay, let us take this scenario. Okay, so now how will you connect? Okay, let's say you are connecting to your laptop. Okay, every laptop, okay, will have some kind of IP address. Okay, yes or no? Okay, if you see
Yes.
here, okay, IP
Thank you.
config. Okay, config, and if you see, what is my IP address here, guys? 168.168.0.117. Okay, this is the IP address for me. Okay, because, okay, I connected to wireless LAN. Okay, Wi-Fi, I connected to Wi-Fi. That is the reason, okay, my IP address, this is the IP address it has given. Okay, like this. Okay, one system can have multiple IP addresses. Understand? So, okay, why we need multiple IP addresses? Tomorrow, okay, let's say one adapter is, okay, damaged, okay, due to some reason, okay, due to some issue. Okay, so in this picture, okay, one is damaged, okay, then, okay, you can still connect to this one, using Okay, you can using other IP address actually. If you enable 2 interface cards, okay, then okay, your system will have 2 IP addresses. Every network adapter card will have 1 IP address. Okay, it means okay, so if I enable 2 adapters, so for my laptop, okay, for this server, okay, I have 2 network interface cards enabled, so 2 IP addresses will be there. If one IP address is damaged also or corrupted also, okay, so I can use another IP address to connect to the system and fix the network interface cards. Suppose okay, I have adapter 1, adapter 2. Adapter 1 IP address is this one. Okay, let's say this is adapter 1. Okay, adapter 1. Okay, where IP address is 192.168.56. Okay, 100. Okay, and I have adapter 2 also. Sorry, adapter 2 also, where okay, my IP address is 10. Okay, 8. Okay, 9. Okay, 15. Okay, so now I can connect to the system using this IP address or this IP address also. Okay, any IP address I can use to connect to the system. Okay, and one more thing now. Okay, suppose okay, due to some issue, okay, due to some issue, this adapter is down. Okay, then adapter okay, drivers are okay corrupted. Okay, network adapter drivers are corrupted. Okay, and now so adapter 1, okay, if drivers are corrupted, okay, adapter 1 is not working. So I can use adapter 2 and I can log into the system. Then I can repair adapter 1. I can reinstall the drivers for adapter 1. Are you clear? Okay, so in real time, okay, at least okay, you will be having 2 IP addresses for each machine. You understood, guys? Real time servers are not like our servers. Okay, they will be having okay, multiple hard disk on the motherboard itself. Okay, they will be having multiple network adapters on the motherboard itself. They'll be having multiple RAM slots on the motherboard itself. They'll be having multiple cores on the processor itself. You got it? So in real time, okay, so you will be having okay, if you see top end servers, okay, you will have okay, like okay, 80 core server, 80 cores, okay, 512 GB RAM, okay, then 80 cores, 512 GB RAM, then a network 512 GB RAM, then a hard disk, okay, so maybe 48 TB hard disk, okay, then okay, network adapter, so okay, 4 network adapters. Understood? So each network adapter will support okay, 1000 MB per second. Okay, MB per second. Okay, so then if I have 4 NICs, if I enable all four network interface cards, then what is the speed of my system? 4000 MB per second. It means nearly it can take okay, 4 GB of data per second. Understand, guys? Okay, but okay, will they enable all 4? No. Okay, in real time they enable only 2 adapters. Okay, so for high availability. So the problem here is that okay, if one IP address is damaged also, I can still access that machine and okay, I can work on it. Any questions? Any questions you have, guys?
No, sir.
No, right? Okay, so that is the reason. Okay, you understood right now. Okay, why I have given 2 adapters. So I have enabled 2 adapters. Okay, so adapter 1 and adapter 2. Okay, and one more thing is okay, if you see this one general, okay, system processor, by default it has taken 1. By default it has taken 1. Okay, can I give 2? Because I have 16 cores, right? So I can give 2. If you have more cores, you can give 2 here. Okay, if you don't have more cores, you can give only 1. Okay, so by default it will take. So I don't have any issues about number of processors. So now if you see my base machine, okay, my VM, okay, what I have created. So now the VM, okay, what I have created is okay, network is okay. So here network 1 and network 2, network adapter 1, network adapter 2. Okay, adapter 1 is okay, NAT, adapter 2 is that okay, host only. Okay, so these are the 2 adapters. Okay, I have selected. Okay, and cores I have given 1 core. By default it will come like 1 core. If you want to increase to 2 cores, you can give 2 cores. Are you clear? So now this is the configuration of my virtual machine, guys. So now my virtual machine is having 10 GB RAM. Yes or no? My virtual machine is having 10 GB RAM, 400 GB hard disks, okay, and 2 network adapters, and 2 core. Okay, will you agree with me? This is my system capacity now. Guys, any questions, please let me know. This is the virtual machine, okay, I have taken now. Okay, so how I have taken? With the help of Oracle VirtualBox software. Okay, see, my laptop configuration is this one. Okay, so this is my laptop configuration. Okay, where is this one? Okay, so from this one, okay, so this is my laptop configuration. Okay, so from this one, okay, if you see this one, available is this much. Okay, 15 cores available. Okay, out of 15 cores, I have taken 2 cores. 61 GB RAM is available. Out of 61, okay, I have taken 10 GB. Okay, and 600 GB hard disk is there. I have taken 400 GB. Okay, so network adapter. Okay, okay, so one is there, but okay, here I am making it 2 adapters actually. Okay, so with the help of Oracle VirtualBox software, okay, I am creating one more virtual machine on top of my Windows machine. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So now, okay, can I start my machine? Okay, can I start my machine? Okay, so right click and start. Normal start. But okay, so this VM, okay, we created. Okay, so it says, okay, so okay, cancel. Okay.
You have to
OS image.
Yeah, but okay, see what it is saying. No bootable medium. Okay, no bootable medium found. Okay, system halted. Okay, it is just a machine, but did I install OS and all?
no.
I didn't install OS. Okay, so what I need to do? If you need to install OS, if you want to install OS, what you need to do?
Go to storage.
Okay, 1 second, sir. Okay, so if you want to install, okay, right click on this one, right click on this one. Okay, settings. Okay,
Storage.
so somewhere, okay, so storage, click on. So now your virtual machine is ready to install OS. To install OS, select the ISO settings, go to storage. Okay, so here
Empty.
we have something called, okay, CD icon. There is, click on the CD icon here. Where is CD icon? Empty.
Empty.
Okay, and okay, next to optical drive. Next to optical drive, okay, CD icon. This is the one. Okay,
Yes.
next to optical drive, CD icon. This is the one. Okay,
Down
choose.
under the down.
No. Okay, choose or create virtual hard disk. Okay, okay, so you can create. Okay, choose a disk file. Okay, now, okay, if you remember, okay, you downloaded in the previous step, you downloaded the CentOS image file, right?
Yes.
You select that one. Okay, so you have selected this one. Okay, so ISO from the browser and click on OK. Okay, then right click on OK and right click on this one and click on start. Okay. 1 second, sir. Okay, so yeah, you can do normal start also, detachable start also. But okay, here, okay, what I'm saying here, okay, if you see small window in your VM, press right control C. Okay, and maximize your window. Okay, so right control and C. Okay, now maximize your window. Now you can see full window. Got it, guys? Okay, so now, okay, what are the options you can see now? Where is this one? Okay, so and click do not show this message, you can switch. Okay, so if it is working, okay, so this will start installation of OS. Okay, so now, so how can you install OS here? Okay, so now install CentOS and basic setup. Okay, now this is the first screen where you are seeing. Yes, I have given each and every screenshot in this diagram, in this document. Actually, you can follow the steps from this. Okay, now, okay, go to click, okay, up arrow, down arrow. Okay, you can select install CentOS. Now, guys, okay, this is the place where you are installing your OS, Linux OS. Okay, you might not be knowing, okay, what is OS and all actually. Okay, so we need to understand how to install Linux OS and all. Now, okay, you may ask me a question, right? Okay, sir, okay, why do we need to install Linux OS and all? Is it our work first of all? Okay, we will see. Okay, so now, Okay, this is the screen, okay, which you are seeing. Okay, so now what it is asking, okay, so select the language, okay, which language you want. Okay, so obviously we will go with English, and okay, again you can select English India, you can select. Okay
Yes.
guys, okay, if you see, okay, if you see here, okay, can you see there are two mouse icons here? Okay, otherwise, okay, I'll do one thing.
Mouse cursor.
Okay, so can you see there are two mouse, one is black mouse icon, okay, and okay, mouse cursor, okay, and okay, white mouse cursor, correct or not?
Yes.
Okay, so now if you click inside this one, then okay, it will start moving actually. Then okay, white will disappear and it will start moving. Okay, and if you want to come out, okay, and this mouse icon will not come this side actually. Okay, if you want to use, okay, if you want to, okay, shit. On this
Press
one.
E, sir. Press E, press E.
Shit.
Okay, go back and come back. Come back, come front again.
Yeah. I'll do the power off. I'll just do it once again. Detachable start normal. Any start you can do actually. That's not a problem. Okay, now I'm starting. Okay, select up arrow, install CentOS. Okay, so if you see, okay, so you are able to see two mouse icons. One is black one and one is white one. Okay, so if you click inside this machine, the black one will start moving, white one will disappear. Again, okay, if you want to white one, again, okay, you need to click on a right control. If you click on right control, automatically, okay, okay, see now, okay, you can use all these things. But okay, if you click on click anywhere inside this machine, then okay, the black one will start moving. So what happened now? Okay, white is not coming this side. Is there any problem in the OS settings, the VM settings? Maybe. Shit. Okay, right click, settings, system. USB tablet. Okay, I gave right. Okay. See guys. Okay, if we shit. Okay. That's okay. I will do one thing. Click on OK. Every time, okay, you make changes. Okay. Click on OK. Click on OK. Right. Okay. Again, okay. Storage. Click on OK. Network. Click on OK. Yes. Click on OK. Okay. Okay. So now English, and you can select English India and click on continue. Okay. So now, okay. The second thing is you need to select the installation destination. Okay. Click on installation destination. Okay. As I have given each and every step clearly here. Installation destination. Okay. Click on installation destination. Okay. And okay. So now, how many hard disks we attached to this VM, guys?
4.
Four hard disks. Okay.
4.
Now, how Linux is giving the names actually? Okay. So it works in this way, guys. Okay. Let's say you have hard disk 1, hard disk HDD2. Okay. Okay. Like this. Okay. HDD 13. Okay. HDD 24, 26. Okay. So now, first two hard disks are okay, built-in hard disk. Correct or not?
Yes.
Built-in hard disks. Built-in. Okay. Built-in. Okay. But the okay on motherboard. Okay. These are okay. So instead of built-in, okay, I can say on motherboard. This is also on motherboard. This is okay behind server. Yes or no? Backup server backside. Correct or not?
Yes.
Backside. You will have this one. Okay. So this is how. Okay. So these many slots are there. Okay. Total 26 slots are there. Okay. So 2 are on motherboard and 26 remaining 24 are on server backside. Okay. So now, okay, when you have multiple hard disks, how Linux will recognize each hard disk? So Linux will start giving names like this. SDA. SDA means storage device A. SDB, SDC, SDD. Okay. Like this. Okay. It will start giving. Okay. So SDE, SDF. Okay. Okay. Like this SDJ. Okay. You understood why only 26? Huh?
After that, again, it will.
Again, okay, it will go like SDAA, double A.
Yes.
Okay. But okay, so as per the standards, okay, many of the servers are following a standard of 26 hard disk. Okay. But okay, in Windows guys, okay, how it works in Windows?
Not.
D drive.
In Windows, okay, you will have, okay. So here also you have C drive, okay, D drive, okay, E drive, okay, F drive, okay. Like this, can I go with till Z drive? Yes, I can go. I can go till Z drive. Okay. But what about A drive and B drive?
Built-in maybe.
What is A drive and what is B drive? Have you ever seen A drive, B drive?
No.
I think for floppy and
Okay. So this is for floppy. Now nobody is using. Okay. Floppy. Okay. This is also for floppy. Okay. But okay, these floppies, nobody is using these floppy drives nowadays. Correct or not? Anybody using floppy drives nowadays?
No.
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 Okay. So, and C drive is the one, okay, where you will be installing your Windows OS. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
This is the place, okay, Windows OS. Okay, maybe remaining hard disk you will use for maybe, okay, so maybe software. Okay, softwares or anything, okay, you can, okay, softwares, okay, maybe, okay, entertainment. Okay, or maybe, okay, important. Okay. So whatever the names you can give actually, okay, like this, okay. So even Windows also supporting 26 hard disk, okay. But our laptops and all will not be having, okay, 26 hard disk. So you have a server, okay. When I say server, you on this server you can install Windows also, yes or no, and you can install Linux also. Okay, when you install Windows, okay, each hard disk will be named like this actually. A, B, C, D, E, F like this. Okay, but when you install Linux, so each hard disk will be named as SDA, SDB, SDC. Okay, so in case of Windows, you will install your OS inside C drive. Yes or no? That is the default directory. Yes or no, guys? Where you will install like your OS C drive only. Okay, but in case of Linux, okay, you will install your OS in, okay, in A drive. Understood? You will install your OS in A drive. Okay. Now, okay, so you select this one. See, I told you, right? Okay, SDA, SDB, SDC, okay, SDD. So every hard disk is named like, okay, SDA, SDB, SDC, SDD. 4 hard disk we have. 4. If you have 24 hard disk, okay, it will show all 24. Can you see this one? Here, okay, you can move like this actually. Okay. So, but okay, since we have only 4 hard disk, okay, so it is giving only 4 names here. Okay. Now click on SDA. Okay, and click on done. Okay, so now you selected the installation. Okay, and okay, adapters, click on adapter. Okay, so adapters, okay, you need to switch on the adapter, guys. Click on. Okay, even this also click on. Both the adapters you need to switch on. Understand? So if you see this one, okay, what is the speed of each adapter? 1000 MB per second. What is the speed of this adapter? 1000 MB per second. Okay, so both adapters you switch on. Okay, don't forget to switch on these adapters, guys. Okay, don't forget to switch on these adapters. Okay, then click on done. Okay, then click on begin installation. Okay, so now, okay, I'm installing software. Okay, at least, okay, to log into the machine we require 1 user or not required. So in case of Windows, okay, you will have a administrator is the first user. Yes or no? In case of Windows, okay, your administrator is the first user. Okay. In the same way, in case of Linux, okay, root is the first user. Okay. Let us set the password for this one. So I am setting welcome1. Welcome1. It is saying it is a weak password. That's fine. Not a problem. Click on done. Okay. So now I have set up the password. Okay. First user, the Linux first user is root user, and he is the super user. What is super user and all I'll explain. Okay. So this will take some 3-4 minutes, guys. Okay. So let's wait. Give me a minute, guys. I'll be back. So looks like it is done, right? Okay. So it installed everything, and okay, now you can click on a reboot. Okay.
So one doubt, in case
Yes,
if
sir.
something goes wrong and the
Mm.
installation was abrupted in middle way, right?
Okay. Sir, how much time it has taken, sir? Okay. No, we are installing a basic Linux actually. Okay.
Basic Linux only. But in my case, right, it happened, something went wrong.
Okay.
and in
Fine.
middle
Okay.
it was
You
updated.
restart, sir. I mean, okay. You just destroy the VM and okay, you can create a new VM for time being. Okay. So don't worry too much about how to resolve this one, okay? Because it's a basic installation. 99.99%, okay, it will not fail. Understand? 99.99% it will not fail. Okay, but okay, still if you are facing an issue, okay, please let me know. Okay, so maybe we can fix together.
Okay.
Okay. So now the VM is created, guys. Okay. So now what it is saying is okay, local host login. What is this login? In case of Windows, okay, so if you switch on your machine, okay, what it will show? Enter your username and a password, right? Yes or no? In case of Windows, okay. But here, okay, Linux is completely command line. Okay, there is no. Sir, okay, why so much noise, sir? A lot of disturbance, okay, in class.
Sorry.
Yeah, please be on mute, sir. Okay, if you are not talking, okay, please be on mute. Okay, so. Okay, so the first, okay, so in case of Windows, since it is a UI based one, okay, so it will ask you enter your, it will show you one beautiful screen and it will ask you, okay, enter your username, okay, enter your password, like that. Okay, but okay, here we install CentOS and command line version. It is not a UI version. Okay, so okay, as I told you yesterday, okay, if you want to use command line Linux, okay, you should know all the commands. Then only you can you can work on this one. Okay, but anyway, okay, we will learn, okay, how to work on this one. Okay, so first one is localhost 1. What is the one user we created, guys? Root. Okay, so root is the user, okay, which we created, okay, as part of this installation. Apart from that, okay, we don't have any other user. Okay, root, okay, and welcome 1 is the password. Okay, so password, okay, is okay, hidden 1. Okay, even if you type password, it will not show that it is typing. Don't worry. Okay, you type your password and press enter. Okay, now you logged into your machine. You are seeing this screen means, okay, I like, okay, root at the rate localhost hash means, okay, you are inside the machine. Understand? You are inside the machine. Okay, so now what next? Okay, if you see, we have done all these things. And okay, finally we restarted. Okay, so now, okay, after restart, log into the machine with the root user. Okay, root is the one, and okay, password you type, and then it will show you like this. Actually, it will show you like this. Okay, so before proceed to next step, make sure you are connected to internet using Wi-Fi or LAN cable. Okay, so now anyway, I have already connected to internet. Okay, so okay, for me it is fine. Okay, but okay, if you are not connected to internet, okay, till this time whatever I have done, okay, for that internet is not required. Okay, for OS Linux installation, internet is not required. But now, okay, we need to install some softwares inside this one. Okay, so those things, okay, we require what to say, internet. So please be connected to Wi-Fi or LAN cable. Okay, well, execute. Okay, execute below command to see IP address is allocated for VM. Okay, so what is the command? Okay, so you execute this command. Okay, IF. Okay, you type this one. Can I say Control C and Control V here, guys? It will not work. Control C and Control V will not work. Okay, so type IF UP. Okay, what is the one? IF UP ENP 0S8. Okay, ENP 0S8. Okay, so okay, I'll tell you why I'm doing this one. Okay, I'll tell you later stages. Okay, now, okay, once this command is done, then what you need to do, okay, you can say IP addr show. Okay, IP addr show. Okay, now when you click on this one, okay, it is showing, okay, how many adapters you connected, guys, for this VM? Total 2 adapters we connected. Okay, but okay, so if you see the serial number, okay, 1 2 3, okay, total 3 it is showing, correct or not?
Yes.
1
Yes.
LO, 2 ENP0S3, and 3 ENP0S8. Okay, so that LO is the loopback, okay, IP address which will be there for every machine actually. Okay, but that will work only for that particular machine. Okay, external systems cannot use this loopback IP address. Okay, so the default IP address for each machine is 127.0.0.1. Okay, okay, I will do one thing. I'll take the print screen. Okay, arc, maybe I will use snipping tool. I can.
This loopback we will use for the Docker and all these things, right?
Correct, sir, correct. Okay,
Okay.
so now this is the one. Okay, in this one, if you see how many adapters we have, guys. Okay, so I have adapter 1, so I'm making it yellow. Okay, and I have adapter 2. Okay, adapter 2, adapter 1 LO, adapter 2, and okay, I have adapter 3 also. I have adapter 3 also. Okay, 3 adapters. Okay, now the first adapter is the one. Okay, first adapter is the one. Okay, so okay, this one, the first adapter. First adapter is the one. Okay, so which is loopback adapter, which will be common for every machine. Okay, so you can ignore the first one. Okay, the second one, okay, ENP0S8. This is the one, okay, which we added. Okay, this is the one which we added, and this is the third one which we added, adapter 2 and adapter 3. Okay, which is the name. Okay, by default, okay, OS will give us some name, ENP0S3. Okay, ENP0S8. These are the names, okay, where adapter has given by default. Okay, so now if you see, okay, so how many IP addresses we have, guys, now? Okay, so this is one IP address for us. Yes or no? Okay, this is one IP address what we have, 127.0.0.1. Okay, but okay, anyway, this we cannot use outside. Okay, so what is the IP address here? IP address. Okay, 10.0.2.15. This is the second IP address. What is this IP address? This is the third IP address, 109.168.105. So for this machine, how many IP addresses we have? For this machine, total 3 IP addresses. That 3 out of 3, okay, one is loopback that cannot be used outside. Okay, so now I have 2 IP addresses. Okay, if I want to ping, okay, I can use this one and I can connect to this machine. Okay, so now let us take this IP address. Let us take this IP address 192.168.56.105 to connect to this machine. Understand, guys? Okay, see why we need to connect to this machine. Okay, so if you see here, so all my commands are available inside. All my commands are available inside my Word document, inside Windows. And okay, can I do Control C here inside Windows, and can I do Control V in Linux machine? I cannot do. Okay, so that is the reason. Okay, it is like this, guys. Now, okay, now, okay, so you have a Windows machine here. This is Windows laptop. Windows laptop. Okay, so inside this Windows laptop, on top of this laptop, what you have done, or otherwise, okay, so I'll insert. Okay, so maybe some shapes, 3D shapes are there. Okay, it is like this. Okay, so this is the base machine. What I can take. Okay, so let us check. Okay, this is my Windows machine, guys. Okay, this is my Windows machine. Okay, Windows laptop. Okay, on top of this one, this is your Windows laptop. Okay, on top of this one, I'm creating, okay, one virtual machine here. Okay, so one virtual machine. This is the virtual machine, okay, which I created on top of this one. Okay, this is Linux VM. Okay, so now as per Windows, okay, this is separate machine, this is separate machine, this is separate machine. Okay, now tell me, can I do Control C in this machine and do Control V here? You cannot. This is separate machine, this is separate machine. Okay, of course, okay, this Linux virtual machine is running on your laptop, but still this is a separate machine and this is a separate machine. Understand? Okay, you cannot do Control C here and you cannot do Control V here. Got it? Even though your Linux VM is running on your Windows laptop. Okay, so how we can connect now? Okay, but okay, so now if you see, my installation document is in Windows. Okay, here, okay, I have my installation document. Okay, and okay, here I need to type, I need to copy the installation documents from here and I need to paste it here. Okay, but copy and paste is not working here. So what to do? Okay, I need to have an interface between these two. Okay, so now what I need to have a interface between these two. Okay, okay, so what this interface will do? Okay, what this interface will do? So okay, whatever command, okay, you give in Windows, okay, give in Windows, that will be taken and given to Linux. Got it? Whatever command you give to interface, okay, that will be given to the command, okay, will be given to Linux machine. Okay, now Linux machine will execute the command and that the result will be sent back to interface. Interface will print it on the screen. Understood? Okay, now what is this interface, guys? What is the interface which will connect Windows and Linux machines? Okay, which is nothing but your putty.exe. You remember, okay, in the first step, okay, we downloaded putty.exe. Okay, I don't know how many of you remember. Okay, yesterday, okay, I have so downloaded before this one. Okay, see, I downloaded putty.exe. Okay, now open putty.exe. Okay, so it is in download. Open putty.exe. Okay, inside putty.exe, you put this IP address. What is the IP address? ENP0S site IP address 192.168.56.105. Okay, so that is what, okay, I have clearly mentioned here. Okay, so now this is the IP address here. This is the IP address. You can take this one, open putty and enter IP address. Okay, here it is showing as 104, but okay, for us, what it is showing? It is 105. Okay, you give whatever the number it is showing, 192.168.56.105. Okay, you give this number. Okay, so you give this number and click on open. Click on open. Open. So now what is it? Click on yes. Okay, now login as root. Password is welcome1. Okay, now okay, see is what you have done using this. Okay, so there are two machines actually. Okay, so this is one Windows laptop. Okay, one on top of this one, okay, one Linux VM is running. Okay, now using putty, okay, inside when okay, using putty is a Windows tool. Is it a putty is a Linux tool or Windows tool? So putty.exe. Exe means Windows only. Okay, so you open putty.exe from laptop and okay, you connect it to Linux VM. Okay, now okay, this is the Linux VM. So whatever you have seen, okay, in this VM, okay, now okay, if you type any command here, okay, type date. Okay, sorry, date. Okay, what it is doing? Whatever command you type here, putty will forward that command to Linux VM. Okay, so which Linux VM? Okay, whatever the one you connected now. What you connected now? Okay, 192.168.56.105. This is the VM. Okay, so it will connect to that VM and submit the command here. Whatever the result it is creating, it is bringing back and giving it to us. It is printing here. Are you clear? Are you clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you are clear. Okay, so what next? What next? Now, okay, you do one thing. Okay, whatever you type. Okay, so now whatever you type. Okay, so this will connect to your slave VM. From now onwards, whatever command you enter in putty, okay, enter in putty, okay, that will be executed on slave machine, and the result will be sent back to putty. Okay, here putty will act like an interface between your Windows machine and Linux machine. Are you clear? Okay, now the change. Okay, now change the network adapter properties below to set static IP. Okay, so what is the static IP, guys?
Which is
What
permanent type.
okay, so now here, okay, now if I type if config, sorry, okay, IP addr show. Okay, so now when I say IP addr show, now I'm seeing the same thing. Now I can select, okay, so
Or you can
ENP0S3
type IPA also, right?
IPA na? No.
Yes.
Okay, so IPA, okay, the same output. Okay, you are getting APADDR, IPADDR show or IPA. Okay, yes, sir. Okay, so this is the one. Okay, this is the IP address and this is the second IP address. Okay, so guys, okay, let us take a Hadoop cluster now. Okay, Hadoop cluster. So now I'm taking, okay, so total 4 VMs. Okay, so name node. Okay, so okay, for VM1 I'm taking, so and VM2, okay, VM3, okay, VM4 virtual machine 4. Okay, in this VM, okay, I'll install name node. Okay, maybe I'll install Hadoop. Okay, I'll install Hadoop. Okay, in this VM, in all the VMs, okay, I install Hadoop. Okay, but in this machine, okay, so when I install Hadoop, okay, every machine you'll have config files, right?
Yes.
Huh? In every machine, okay, when I install Hadoop, okay, every machine will have configuration files. Okay. So now, okay, every machine will have one IP address, right? So let's say
Yes.
192.168.56.101. This is the IP address of this one. Okay, 101. Okay, 102. Okay, 103. Okay, 104. Okay, like this. Yeah, these are the IP addresses. Okay. So now, is there any guarantee that like, all these IP addresses will remain same, guys? If I restart VM4, is there any guarantee that okay, it will get same 104 again?
No, change.
Huh?
It will change.
It will change.
Yes.
Or okay, it may change. Instead of it will change, okay, it may change. Yes or no? It
It
may
will
change. Okay. So now, okay, in the configuration file, okay, let's say as per this configuration file, okay, in the name node configuration, in the configuration of Hadoop configuration file, you are telling name node equal to name node IP address is 192.168.56.101. Okay. So this IP address you are telling, okay, in each and every machine. Okay. So now as per this configuration file, okay, so as per this configuration file, okay, what this will understand, this VM2 will understand who is my name node, whoever is having 101, that guy is my name node.
name node.
Okay.
Yes.
So now who is 101, who is having 101?
VM.
VM1. Okay. So it means, okay, every machine will think that, okay, so this is
Name node.
name node. Okay. Understand, guys? Okay. Tomorrow, okay, let's say you restarted all the machines at the same time. Suddenly, okay, let's say, okay, this has got 101 and this has got 104. Now tell me what will happen? Who will become the name node?
VM4.
VM4 will become name node. Correct or not?
Yes.
Okay. So is it fine to change the name nodes like that? Okay, we should have a fixed machine, okay, for name node. You should have a fixed machine for name node. Okay. That is the reason what we need to do. We need to set up a static IP. What do you mean of static IP and what do you mean of dynamic IP? When I say dynamic IP, okay, when I say dynamic IP, so the IP will change. Okay, IP address of that machine, okay, may change when you reboot. Okay, but when you say dynamic IP, sorry, when you say dynamic IP address may change. When I say static IP, even if you restart your machine 100 times, okay, you will have the same IP address. Understand? Understand, guys? Static IP means, okay, even if you restart your machine 100 times, okay, you will get the same IP address. Okay, but in case of dynamic IP, okay, if you restart your machine, there are high chances that, okay, your IP address may change. Okay, so in case of Hadoop cluster, if IP addresses keep on changing, okay, then all the dataowners will feel difficulty to identify who is the correct name node. Okay, so that is the reason, okay, what we do in real time, we fix the IP address. Okay, we make it like a static IP, so that okay, the IP will never change for that machine. Okay, so now how to set a static IP? Okay, so now, okay, to do this one, okay, so first one is for ENP0S3, you execute this command. Okay, you copy this one, come here and click right click, it will paste, press enter. Okay, what is this echo command, guys? Okay, here, okay, I don't think everybody is aware of Linux. Don't worry. Okay, I will teach you. Okay, I will teach you whatever is required. Maybe tomorrow, okay, we can have one class for separate class for Linux tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Okay, so here echo, what is this echo command will do?
It will write content.
See, whatever, okay, so there is a command, okay, here I'm executing like echo. Okay, whatever you say in single brackets, that will print here. Understood? Echo, the word itself is echoing. Okay, what is echo? The repeating the same thing. Okay. Whatever you have given here, it will print it here. Okay, so what is this T command? Okay, T command is the one, okay, which will append this line, okay, into this file. What is the file? Okay, etc system configuration. Okay, so all these things. Okay, guys. Okay, in case of Windows, if I want to make some changes to the network, what I will do? Okay, so I will click on this one, open network and internet sharing, internet settings. Okay, maybe I'll click on Wi-Fi. Okay, maybe I'll change whatever I require. Yes or no? Or change adapter options. Okay, so then okay, right click on this one. Okay, click on properties and you can change whatever you want. Correct or not? If it is Windows, it is the case. Okay, but okay, if it is a Linux, okay, so you should understand. Okay, if I want to change the network configuration settings, okay, in which file my network configuration settings are available, you should know that. Okay, so don't worry, what is this etc system config, sysconfig, network scripts, ifcfg. Okay, as of now, don't worry. So whatever, okay, you did, okay, nm control s equal to yes, this line, okay, is appended to this file. Okay, now if I say cat this file, you will see the last line as nm underscore control s. Yes or no? Okay, understand, guys? So here, okay, you do one thing. Okay, so cat, you give this one. Okay, again, okay, you give cat before. Okay, this one. Okay, before this one again, cat 0s8. Okay, and cat 0s8. Okay, so now, okay, so we have already done this one, first step actually. Okay, so okay, so this is already for 0s8. Okay, again, okay, you type 0s8 content. Okay, see, this is the content of 0s8. Okay, but here, okay, if you see, this is the network settings of 0s8. Okay, here it is a DHCP. What is this DHCP? Dynamic allocation of IP protocol. Understand? Okay, so I don't want dynamic IP address. What I want static IP address. If you want static IP address, just copy this entire line and okay, just type and press enter. Okay, after pressing enter, again, okay, you cat this one. What do you mean of cat, guys? Cat means print the content of the file. Okay, see what is okay. Okay, if I print a enp0 set earlier, what was the content of this file? Huh? This was the content of this file. Okay, but later what I've done, okay, by entering this line, okay, I changed the content to like this. So here I am giving the fixed IP address. What is the IP address for this one? What is the fixed IP address I'm giving now?
6.2.
56.200. Okay, this is the IP ADDR. Okay, the fixed IP address I'm giving now. Okay, so after this one, okay, you make the changes to this one and okay, so restart network and you click on restart network. Okay, so this restart network. Okay, so this will okay, so now click on restart network and close this putty. Or you want to sure? Yes. Okay, and again try to relog in with the new IP address of 200 machine. Okay, now log into the same putty with the 200 IP address now. Yes, login as root welcome one. Okay, if you type password, wrong password, it will show like that. Okay, it is asking password once again. Okay, so now, okay, now you'll, okay, IPA. So now you see what is the IP address here, guys, now? Huh?
It's changed.
It is changed or not?
It's
Earlier
changed.
it was 192.168.56.105. Now I changed to 200. Okay, and this 200 is a fixed IP address. Correct or not?
Yes.
Okay, so this 200 is a fixed IP address which will never
Good
change.
morning.
Okay, which will never change. Okay. Okay, so this is the this is not a dynamic IP. Okay, so this is a static IP, which will never change. Which will never change. Okay, even if you restart this virtual machine 100 times, it will get the same IP address. Are you clear? Why? Okay, static IP address is required in real time. So if you want to set up a Hadoop cluster, you should have static IP for each and every machine. You cannot have dynamic IP. If you have static IP, then what will happen? If you have a static IP, so then okay, you can mention those static IP addresses in the configuration file. Okay, if you have dynamic IP, okay, so every reboot of your machine, okay, so IP address may change. When IP address is changing, then okay, data nodes will be unable to identify who is the correct name node. That is the reason. Okay, we should have a static IP address. Now I have set the static IP address. Okay, guys. Okay, so let us do one thing. Okay, how it works in real time. Okay, let's say some XYZ company decided to set up a Hadoop cluster. So what they will do?
They will first contact to Linux team to set
Linux
up.
team, or okay, so they'll contact a Hadoop architect first. So they'll go to Hadoop architect and say, hey, Hadoop architect, okay, I want to set up Hadoop cluster. Okay, this is the data we have currently. Can you give me, okay, the settings? Okay, so like, okay, settings means, okay, how many servers we require, and okay, what is the configuration of each server? Okay, so now architect is the one, okay, who will give you the plan actually. Okay, so let's say architect told that, okay, so you go with, okay, one name node, okay, then okay, 100 data nodes, okay, and okay, one secondary name node and 2 edge nodes. Okay, understand? 2 edge nodes. Okay, this is what the plan where architect has given. Understand? Okay, so now, okay, so what is the each machine capacity? Okay, so he is saying that 32 core machine, 32 core. Okay, let's say 256 GB RAM. Okay, and okay, 24 TB hard disk, and okay, 1000 MB per second network. MB per second network. Okay, this is what the configuration has given for each and every server. Okay, so now, okay, I need 32 core server, 256 with 256 GB RAM, 24 TB hard disk, and 1000 MB per second network adapters. Okay, so like that, how many servers I want? Huh? How many servers I want?
104 server.
You require 104 servers, guys. Okay, so it means, okay, so total the requirement is 104 servers. 104 servers you require. Okay, so now you understood clearly that, okay, to set up Hadoop cluster you require 104 servers. Okay, what next? So you went to Hadoop architect and Hadoop architect has given. Okay, now you have the plan. What next?
Decide OS. OS operating system.
Sir, okay, you
Procure
okay.
servers. We'll order the servers to.
We need to order the servers, right? Where are the servers? Okay, he told, okay, you install, okay, Hadoop, okay, in this one. Okay, so but okay, servers are ready. Servers are not ready, na?
Yes, sir.
We need to buy servers, right? Okay, so okay, let's say XYZ company and okay, Hadoop project manager. So you have Hadoop project manager. Okay, so now project manager has contacted Hadoop architect. Okay, and Hadoop architect has given this plan. Are you clear, guys? Okay, now what project manager will do? What next? Okay, now project manager has got the clarity that, okay, so to set up this Hadoop cluster we require these many servers. So what project manager will do now? He will contact the procurement team. Who is this procurement team, guys? Huh?
This, I mean, this
Who
define
will purchase the servers? Who will purchase the
servers?
Who will purchase the servers? Okay, guys. Okay, okay. Do you think every company will have a procurement team or no?
MNCs mostly will have.
MNCs mostly will have. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, procurement team doesn't mean that they procure only servers. Okay. Let us take. Okay, let's say you are working in a company. Okay. In toilet, okay, they will put some what to say tissues and all, right? Huh? They'll put some hands and
Yes, yes.
hand wash, right? So who will buy all this? Okay, all these hand wash, okay, and okay, tissues, all those things. Hmm? Will your manager go and buy and okay, put it in the toilet?
Workers will buy.
Workers will go and buy. Your sweeper will go and buy.
Yeah.
Your sweeper. Have you ever seen? Okay, they going and buying. So there will be a team, okay, in each and every company. Okay, that team, okay, will contact, okay, companies who produce this hand wash and who produce this what to say tissue papers, and okay, they from there they'll buy in bulk actually. Okay, understand? So procurement team will give a order. Okay, so I want, okay, let's say 1,000 packs of what is it tissues. Okay, so now they'll give order to tissue manufacturing company. That manufacturing company will deliver. Okay, deliver to procurement team. Now procurement team is the one who will be giving to the workers. Now workers will take and put it into the toilet. Understood? Workers will never go to shop and buy the tissue papers for you and okay, put it into toilet. Two workers, okay, there will be a team, okay, who will be supplying this one inside the company itself. Understand? Okay, in that is also called procurement team. So procurement team means, okay, you need something from outside. Okay, so as a manager, okay, let's say you are a project manager, okay, will you go and buy, okay, servers, okay, on your own? No. Okay, you will be having a team in the company. Okay, you will inform the team, hey, okay, procurement team, okay, we are in need of 104 servers of this configuration, can you help me? So now this procurement team will have contacts with server manufacturing companies. Okay, so who are the server manufacturing companies? Maybe Dell, HP, Cisco, like this. Okay, so now this procurement team, okay, will contact them, okay, and ask, okay, I want, okay, servers like this, okay, can you give me your quotation? So now everybody will give quotation. Okay, Dell will give their quotation, okay, IBM will give their quotation, HP will give their quotation, Cisco will give their quotation. Okay, out of all these quotations, okay, okay, who is providing, okay, good products, okay, with less cost? So they'll take a decision. Okay, based on that, okay, now procurement team, okay, let's say decided to go to Cisco machines. Okay, so procurement will contact, okay, so IBM, okay, Dell, HP, and okay, then Cisco. Okay, if they have any other companies, okay, they'll get the quotation from each one. Okay, so get quotation, quote. Okay, okay, so from this one, okay, they'll select the best one. Okay, let's say they selected the Cisco. Okay, so now procurement team will order Cisco. Okay, will order 104 server, or okay, will send a invoice, okay, purchase order of 104 servers to Cisco. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so let's say, okay, this process has started. Okay, let's say okay, April 1st. Okay, 4/1/2021. Okay, it started April 1st, it started. Okay, maybe architect will understand all these requirements. Okay, architects will take, okay, 2-3 days to give this one. Okay, so you got the plan on okay, let's say 4/2. Okay, 4/2. Now, okay, it is 4/3. You went to, okay, you contacted procurement team and told that, hey, procurement team, okay, I want, okay, 104 servers of this configuration, can you arrange at the earliest? So procurement team will contact all these vendors to get the quotation. Okay, let's say they finalized, okay, to go with one vendor, and okay, they have ordered. Okay, so now when Cisco will deliver the servers, now Cisco will deliver the servers to whom? It's okay. See, you should understand the way, okay, how this people will build Hadoop clusters and all actually. Okay, so once this is done, okay, then this is the second step. Okay, now these people will contact all these vendors. Okay, okay, Finally, they'll take a decision. Okay, to whom? Okay, let's say they decided to go with Cisco. Okay, now what Cisco will do now? Cisco will deliver the servers. Yes or no?
Yes.
Cisco will deliver the servers. Okay, to where they will deliver the servers?
Equipment team.
To
Company.
to company. Okay, so to company data center. Understood? Okay,
Yes.
so now okay, you have complete data. So how many days they may take? Okay, since it is a bulk order, okay, they may take some days, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's say they have handed over these servers to, okay, let's say on, okay, 4/18/2021. Okay, they have taken 15 days to deliver these servers. Okay, now when they are delivering the
Sir,
servers,
good morning. Lecturer.
guys, please be
Master,
on
మనం
mute.
installation.
Okay, okay. So they have taken, Cisco team has taken 15 days, and okay, they handed over the servers to company data center. Okay, now when they handed over the servers, okay, will they come with the OS installed, or okay, they are just okay, bare metal servers? Any OS is installed inside that one?
No.
Nothing. It is just okay, it's a hardware. They hand over only hardware, no OS installed, nothing is there inside this one. It is just a hardware. Okay, so now, okay, now they deliver to company data center. Okay, so now from company data center, okay, so then okay, who will take the responsibility of these 104 servers now? Which team will take? So now from data center, okay, so the first team, okay, who will take the responsibility is, okay, inside data center there is a team, okay, Linux team. Okay, what this Linux team will take care? Okay, so maybe first, instead of Linux team, okay, first, okay, network team will take care of the, okay, so all these servers will be handed over to network team first. Okay, it depends also. Okay, sometimes, okay, first they will give to Linux team, then okay, they'll give to network team. Okay, or okay, first network team or Linux team, anything is fine actually. Okay, let's say, so in the data center, okay, they handed over to the network team. Okay, who are these network team people, guys?
Assign the IPs to
People,
server.
okay, the people who know how to connect the cables, okay, how to put all these 104 servers in the racks, okay, how to connect the cables, okay, so all these okay, so okay, they are the ones, okay, who will set up the network and who will set the IP addresses and all. Okay, tomorrow, okay, if you want to set the static IP, so that work also will be done by these people only. Okay, so network team, okay, network team will, okay, will connect, okay, will okay, place all servers into racks. First thing. Second thing, okay, then connect, okay, all racks, okay, with, okay, cables and switches, with cables and switches. Okay, so now all the servers are connected, and okay, set a static IP for each and every server. Okay, sir, okay, without installing OS, can I set a static IP? Huh?
Never.
Can I? Huh?
For management.
No, sir.
So, okay, see, every server will come up with some server OS actually. Okay, you can set up a static IP without installing the OS also. Understood it. They are not like our laptops actually. Okay, they'll have some server OS. Okay, so within that server OS, okay, they can set up the static IP. Without installing OS, we can set up a static IP for a server using server OS. Understand? That's a built-in OS, which is not Windows or which is not Linux. Okay, what we call is server OS. Okay, using that, okay, we can set up a static IP. Okay, so now network team has the one, okay, who set up all these things. Okay, once everything is done, okay, it means, okay, server 1, static IP and host name. Host name. Okay, what is host name? Static host name. What is host name, guys? For every machine, okay, you will have one name, right? For every machine, you will have a name or no?
Yes.
You will have a
Sir.
name. Okay, it will allocate, okay, one IP address, one name, one host
Host
name.
name.
Okay, like how every person will have, okay, one mobile number and one name. Okay, let's say I'm Venkata, my mobile number is 934270700, like that. Okay, so think that, okay, my name is, okay, host name, okay, my mobile number is IP address. If you want to contact me, you will have to contact me on my mobile number. It is, which is nothing but my IP address. Very simple. Okay, so network team is the one, okay, they will give static IP address and static host name for each and every server. Understood? Once this is done, then network team will hand over this to okay, this to Linux team. Understood? Okay, so network team or network admin team, okay, anything, okay, you can call actually. Okay, so here Linux admin team. Okay, so now the work has come to, I mean, the servers, all 104 servers have been handed over to Linux admin team here. Okay, so who are these Linux admins actually? These Linux admins are very good at Linux part actually. They are very good at Linux part. Okay, they know how to install Linux. Okay, how to do this settings and all actually. Okay, so what these Linux admins will do? These Linux admins, okay, will install
Linux.
okay, Linux OS first thing. Okay, it can be Red Hat or it can be CentOS. Okay, whatever manager tell this one. Okay, so based on the requirement, company requirement. Okay, so or whatever architect has told. Okay, so based on that, okay, they will install Linux OS. Okay, what next after this one? Okay, they'll install Linux OS. Okay, so if they install only OS, is that fine? Okay, so we need to install some of the softwares, okay, which are required to run Hadoop.
You need to run.
Let us take okay, your office laptop, guys. Will they install only Windows and give it to you, or okay, they'll install MS Office, Chrome, all those things also and give it to you?
All required softwares.
All requires all supporting softwares. Okay, so install, okay, all supporting softwares. So for okay, softwares to run Hadoop. Okay, so maybe can you give me some example? Okay, what are the supporting softwares to run Hadoop? Okay, we need Java. Okay, who will install Java now? Linux admin team will install. Linux admin team will install Java. Okay, understand? Okay, maybe to run Hadoop, I require HTTPS. Okay, so HTTPD. Okay, HTTPD will be installed by Linux admin team. Okay, to run Hadoop, okay, I require, let's say, OpenSSL. Okay, that will be installed by Linux admin team. But okay, are they installing Hadoop or Hadoop supporting softwares?
Hadoop supporting software.
They are not installing Hadoop, sir. Okay, they don't know how to install Hadoop. Okay, they know how to. Okay, what are the softwares required? Okay, again, okay, to this, okay, admin team, who will tell, okay, hey, to install my Hadoop, okay, or to run my Hadoop, these are the supporting softwares. So there will be another team here, Hadoop admin team. Hadoop admin team. Okay, so Hadoop admin team is the one who will give the requirements to Linux admin team, saying that, hey, Linux admin, okay, so these are the list of supporting softwares to run Hadoop. So before you give your server to, before you hand over all these 104 servers to me, please make sure that, okay, you install so and so softwares in each and every server. You understood? Are any questions? Understood or any questions? So yeah, so they will install each and every support softwares. What next? Okay, so make OS config for OS related config changes. OS are network related config changes. Okay, to support Hadoop. Understood? So It means okay, Linux admin team is the one okay, who is installing Linux OS and okay, making and okay, who is installing all the supporting RPMs and who is making the necessary configuration changes okay, on OS level and network level to run Hadoop. Are you clear? Are you clear? So once this is done, once all the steps are done, what Linux admin team will do? Linux admin team okay, will hand it over to okay, database admin team. Okay, database admin team. Okay, what this database admin team will do? Okay, so to install okay some of the Hadoop versions, we require okay backend RDBMS guys. Okay, we may require PostgreSQL or MySQL or Oracle DBs. Okay, I'll tell you okay, why those DBs are required, databases are required later stages. Okay, but we require some databases. Okay, so install. Okay, what these people will do? Install and configure okay the required databases. So those databases can be PostgreSQL okay or MySQL or Oracle. Okay, so these are the databases. Okay, so now these people will install and configure the required databases. This is also done. What next? Finally all these 104 servers will come to Hadoop admin team.
Sir, who will manage the storage in that chain?
Okay, sir. Okay, very separate storage, sir. Every server is having storage, right? What is the server? Okay, so let's say I'm stealing server. Okay, 24 TB hard disk, 24 TB storage. Sir, okay, don't think that okay for Hadoop okay you will have a separate SAN or NAS. No, Hadoop okay. When I say 24 TB, it is not a single storage. It is 24 1 TB hard disks. Understand? No separate storage.
Backup will be there in this Hadoop cluster.
Backup will be there, sir. Okay, we'll talk about this backup and DR later stages. Okay. But okay, every machine is having 24 hard disks, sir. So like this, okay, 104 hard disks are there. No, 104 servers are there. So how many hard disks you have in all servers together? 104 into 24 hard disks. Understood? So 104 into 24. It means okay, your total cluster capacity is 2496 TB, which is nothing but divided by 1024. 2.43 petabytes, sir. Understood?
Okay, sir.
That is the storage. So in Hadoop, okay, your storage will not be like okay, your SAN or NAS. You understood?
Okay, sir, got it.
No external storage will be attached here. Your hard disk only the storage.
Okay, inbuilt storage will use for Hadoop, right?
Exactly, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So now, okay, now Hadoop admin team. Okay. So when the servers, all 104 servers are coming to Hadoop admin team, all these servers are installed with okay, pre-required installed with the Linux OS, okay, installed with the all prerequisites required softwares, okay, made all the config okay changes for an OS level, network level. Then okay, we installed and configured all the databases, okay, wherever required. Okay, then okay, we already have the static IP allocated for each and every machine. So now when it comes to Hadoop admin team, everything is ready. Only Hadoop admin team, okay, what he will do, install and configure Hadoop. Okay, onboard new users, onboard new projects. Okay, so monitor the Hadoop cluster. Okay, so this is what okay Hadoop admin will be doing. Okay, so tomorrow okay, you are the one okay, who will be installing Hadoop on the servers. Understand, guys? Understand? So if you see this machine, okay, so when you see the company data center at that time, okay, you have a machine, okay, you have a machine here, okay, but okay, let's say this is the machine. This is the machine. Nothing is there. Okay, only here okay, inside this one what we have. Okay, so I don't think okay, so required. Okay, so maybe so network team will take a week time here. Okay, for okay, okay. network team will complete okay their work in 5 days. Then okay. Okay. Again, this will take okay. Linux admin okay. Team will take this much time. Okay. Again, database admins team. Okay. So this will take okay. So only 2 days. Okay. Now 511 Hadoop admins okay will install Hadoop cluster. You understood the point, sir? So this is how the process will work if you want to install a Hadoop cluster in your office. First, okay, company will go to architect and get the plan. Then okay, project manager will contact the procurement team and get the quotation. Then okay, finalize the quotation. Then okay, give the order. Then okay, those companies will deliver the servers, bare metal servers to the company data center. From there, okay, the network team will take over all those servers and okay, connect them in the network, put them into racks. Okay, complete the cabling and switching. Okay. Then okay, finally they'll set up a static IP, then hand over the servers to Linux admin. Linux admin team is the one okay, who has to install OS in all 104 servers. And okay, so install supporting RPMs. Okay, then okay, config changes from OS level and network level. They will do all those things, and finally they'll hand it over to database admin team. Now this admin team okay will okay, install okay databases wherever required, and okay, so then they hand over it to Hadoop admin team. Hadoop admin team is the one who will start installing this one. Okay, so this is the process, guys. Okay, tomorrow when I say okay Hadoop admin team, these are all the people who will be part of your Hadoop admin team. Hadoop admin team, okay, Hadoop team, okay, or Hadoop admin team doesn't mean that okay you will have only one Hadoop admin, only Hadoop admins. Hadoop team means in real time, Hadoop team means it is a combination of okay few network admins, few Linux admins, few database admins, and few Hadoop admins. Okay, in our project okay we have okay, so as of today okay we have around okay 125 Hadoop 125 team members. Okay, so my Hadoop admin team is having a strength of 125 members. Do you think all 125 members are Hadoop admins? No. Okay, in this around okay 8 network admins. Okay, and okay, so these are the network, this is total team of 125. Okay, in that okay 8 network admins we have. Okay, so again okay, so nearly okay 12 Linux admins we have. Okay, 4 database admins we have. Okay, the remaining and all are the Hadoop admins actually. Okay, so how much it has come? 24. Okay, 125 minus 24. Okay, so 101 Hadoop admins we have.
Oracle database team is required in the Hadoop admin team.
Sir, okay, I'll tell you, okay, why database is required, okay, in Hadoop admin team. Yes, maybe people will not go with Oracle because Oracle is a licensed database. People will go with Postgres or MySQL. Okay, so it means we require at least one Postgres database admin in our team. Understood? So Hadoop team means okay. Why means okay? Maybe in future, okay. In future.
RDMS.
Sir, voice is breaking. Sorry, your voice is breaking. Okay, maybe let me explain. Okay, so okay, usually what will happen? Okay, what will happen? To install okay Cloudera or Hortonworks or Map or okay, so or okay, any of the Hadoop ecosystem tools or few of the or some of the Hadoop ecosystem tools, we need some backend RDBMSs to support those tools. Okay, either to store metadata or anything actually. Okay, or supporting data. Okay, so for such in such scenarios, okay, if you don't if you have a DB, okay, the team may require a database administrator help. That is the reason they'll take one. Okay, but let's say you are a person who knows Hadoop administration skills, who knows some database skills, who knows Linux admin skills, then okay, then instead of recruiting three people, they'll give more salary and recruit you. Correct or not?
Correct, sir.
Yeah, so now this is what okay people are expecting now. Okay, earlier it was like this. Okay, so when I say network admin, he will do only network related things. Okay, he will not do anything else. Linux admin, so only Linux admin, he will not touch Hadoop related things. Okay, and okay, database admin only databases. But now situation is changing, guys. Okay, slowly everybody has to handle everything. The situation is coming like this. Okay, so in my company we have admins like this. But let's say you are joining a company, you are the first person. Okay, you are the first person. And you are the only one person. They recruited only you, and they asked you to set up a cluster. You got my point, guys? You got my point?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So tomorrow there is a company, and so interview, they shortlisted you, and you are the only person in the team. Then you should take care of the network admin part. Okay, you should take care of Linux admin part. You should take care of database admin part. Okay, you should take care of Hadoop admin part. Okay, it means you are only husband, wife, son, father, mother, everything you only. We don't have separate characters like Linux admin, network admin, and all those things. Okay, so having knowledge on each and everything is very, very important, guys. Understand? Having knowledge on each and everything is very, very important. Okay, so you understood why people will give. Suppose let's say there is a Hadoop interview. Okay, Hadoop admin interview. So there are two people attending this interview. One person previously he worked on Linux, and now he is working on Hadoop. Okay, other person previously worked on some other technology, and now he is coming to Hadoop. Okay, to whom they will give the preference, most preference?
The guy who worked on Linux.
Linux also. Okay, so one person combination is Hadoop. Earlier he worked on Linux. Okay, now he is working on Hadoop. Okay, he knows both Linux and Hadoop. Other candidate, earlier he worked on Informatica. Okay, now he is working on, he shifted to Hadoop. Okay, now tell me, I have these two profiles. Whom I will select?
Linux
Plus Hadoop. Okay, because if I recruit this guy and I can use this guy in both the places, correct or not?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the plan nowadays companies are doing actually. Okay, so if you know already Linux admin, and now you are Hadoop admin, then your opportunities will be more when compared to other people, guys. Okay, and you already, I mean, if you know even database administration also, that will be an added advantage. Clear? Okay, so this is how each and every team will take care of the things actually. So Hadoop team means, don't think that you are the only one person, or only Hadoop people will be there. Hadoop team means Hadoop is not like a single software, guys, to manage with only that technology people. Okay, Hadoop is kind of a framework where we need multiple people involvement to set up the clusters and to manage the clusters. Understood? Okay, so that is the reason now I am showing you how to set up a static IP, how to install OS, all those things I have shown you. Okay, as of now, what I have shown you, this one. Okay, so and I have shown you this much. Okay, we will see the rest of the things tomorrow. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, as of now, VM is created and a static IP is set. Okay, so now earlier what is the IP? 105, and now the IP is 56.200, which is a static IP. Clear? Okay,
Yes, sir.
so we'll continue tomorrow, guys.
Can you please share that?
Yeah, any questions you have, please let me know.
Can you please share that document?
Yes,
so
sir.
that
I will do. Okay, I will do today.
Sir,